All right, Paul, you guys come up to Laramie and get a win. I get that they're a young and experienced team, but coming to Laramie and get a win, you got to be happy with that, I would think.
For sure. I told the guys, before the Wisconsin game, we said to ourselves, we just got to play 40 minutes of defense. We knew the team was tired. We knew we were both 2 games in 2 days that our defense would carry us against the Wisconsin game. And I told them I thought this was going to be a similar game. Afternoon game, it's 3 games in 7 days. We had to find a way to defend. We didn't know if we'd have the legs for our shots to go down or all the things we want offensively, but defensively I thought we were terrific. Got ourselves a chance to obviously win the game. Haven't talked about winning all year long. This is game 11 now. I have never once said we need this one or anything about winning. This was probably the first game I said prior, guys, this game's going to matter in February and March, and by 1, by 20, whatever, we've got to find a way to get this one, and thankfully we did.
You guys did end up with 19 turnovers. I don't know if that's maybe a sign of the fatigue, or you guys.
I think a little. I think they obviously. Their defense is similar. They really pack it in. They force you to shoot from the perimeter. I thought we had a lot of charges, a lot of just kind of hands-on balls around the rim that they really pack it in. They do a great job of doing that, and unfortunately we just weren't crisp enough, and we haven't just seen a lot of that lately. Usually it's been kind of speed and athleticism and guys trying to pressure us a little bit, and Wyoming I thought did a good job.
JJ quietly, and I just mentioned this right before we talked, I didn't realize how close he was to a triple-double, but 8 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 steals as well. JJ, stat-wise, looked like he played an all-around game. During the game, I didn't notice it. So
yeah.
What kind of game was it to you?
I noticed the defensive rebounds. The assists, I think, just kind of happened in the flow of the game. Maybe I wasn't really paying attention to those, but I thought he did a great job on the defensive backboard, which was terrific. And I thought he had some really key steals for us, just kind of like some loose balls pick up, kind of getting an easy layup, a couple of points when they kept fighting. They kept trying to get back into the game, and we just kind of held them enough at bay, and JJ had a lot to keeping them there.
Corey off the bench with 18. Your bigs, I guess both of them did good. I know last time Carlton was here, 22 rebounds, 20 points, and tonight 15 and 15. So your bigs do well here. Is that what you envision with both bigs getting going?
Yeah, I thought Carlton was terrific. I think he had 9 rebounds at half in 8 minutes or something pretty close to that. I thought, Corey got into a flow because Carlton got in foul. So it was 2 games in a row now. We've had to sit Carlton with 2 fouls early in the game, and we've got to find a way to kind of clean that up. But he bounced back with terrific energy, played really hard. He's a force, and obviously him and Corey together are tremendous when they're on.
All right, one more about Corey, and then one more, and I'll let you go, is Corey did get another technical, or not Corey, I'm sorry, yeah. Carlton got another technical. That's back-to-back games where he got a technical.
Yep.
I know there's something else kind of going on with this, but with back-to-back games with the technical now, is that something you have to monitor, because the league is obviously going to be monitoring it?
Good point. I don't exactly know where the league will stand on that. Obviously, he dunked the ball. He was excited. He's emotional. It's a game. I put a lot into this game as far as creating a kind of heightened awareness about us having to need this one. It's a conference road game, and I probably had a little bit to do with that, pumping them up, and he was obviously engaged in that. I didn't see the play. I'll have to watch the film. I really didn't ask the official.
You didn't get an explanation then?
I think he celebrated after a dunk, so okay. That was my understanding. But I didn't see it, so okay. I can't comment on it right now. Obviously, it's something that we have to be aware of, especially if the league's going to come in and kind of police things. But as far as kids being emotional and excited to play the game, even the Boise State game, R.J. Williams and Carlton, what kind of they had going on with each other, I embrace. I like competitive basketball. I like kids playing hard. If that happens to kind of bleed over a little bit at times, it does, as long as there's nothing towards officials or fans or really demonstrative to an opponent. Part of those is just playing the game of basketball. It's competitive out there, and those kids are fighting.
And Leon said essentially the same thing about RJ. He's not going to try and rein in the emotion.
Yeah.
Last one for me, 3-pointers again. I know 3 of them in a row in the final minutes when you guys already kind of had the game in hand, but you guys do give up 10 3-pointers again. Were you okay? 36% shooting from 3-point line for them. Were you okay with your 3-point defense today?
I thought it was an unusual game because of the leads that we had, and I think it was, we were almost, prevent defense, but we were just trying to kind of keep the game at bay, and I think we were trying to prevent quick scores, have them really use clock. We were trying to do the same thing on offense, which sometimes we were good with and sometimes we were not. But at the end of the day, some of those threes we were okay with, really just because of the flow of the game. We wanted to slow them down. Maldonado obviously made some. He's a terrific player, and with him, we really wanted to take away him getting to the rim. So some of his threes at the end, obviously, I'm not saying we're okay with, but we would accept.
All right, you got to go to radio, I know, but because he's been sort of criticized on the, on social media about it, today I saw Keith McGee on the bench, animated as I've ever seen him, the whole time too. Did you have a talk with Keith, or Is that something you haven't approached the team yet about their bench body language?
Yeah, no, I honestly have not talked to Keith. I talk to these guys every day. I know how hard it is to have the depth that we have. Kevin Mackey's always tells me your greatest strength is your greatest weakness, and your greatest weaknesses are your greatest strengths. And our great strength is our depth, but it also becomes a weakness because guys don't necessarily get the minutes, the touches, the feeling of having an impact on the game that they're used to or they've had throughout their career. So it's a huge battle for us. If they can buy into it, we'll be a terrific team. We talk about it every day. There'll definitely be setbacks. There always will be, but as long as we just kind of stay together and keep the course, I think we'll be a good basketball team.